All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to Watkins Glen International. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. We've got a good one for you today. The IndyCars doing the twists and turns at Watkins Glen. It's race number 9 in that 2020 High Octane Racing League IndyCar series. Should be a great one. This is the boot, no chicane, a lot of fun. 60-minute race as we're winding down this season, and this could be a big one. Hang on, boys and girls. It's about to get wild here on TurnLeftTV. A little IndyCar action for you tonight here on TurnLeftTV. It's the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series. All right, hey, thank you so much for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. I'm your host, Heath Johnson. We got a good one for you in store. Some IndyCars at Watkins Glen. What a great track for IndyCars, too. So, very excited about this one. Right now, just finishing up the practice session. These guys are getting ready to go to qualifications. We'll take a look at the track here at Watkins Glen. Of course, this is the configuration with the boot. No chicane and with the boot. So 11 turns. Very fun track located in Watkins Glen, New York. 5.4 kilometer, 3.4 mile road course. One of the most famous road courses in all of the world. And one that works pretty well here with the IndyCars. So excited about this one. Headed your way here on TurnLeftTV. You guys have 15 minutes of qualifications. They can get as many laps in as they can for quals. I want to thank you so much for coming in and joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Peace to everybody out there. Hope everybody's behaving themselves. Oh, man, what do we got going on here, man? There we go. Get rid of that green. There we go. Hey, thanks so much for coming in. Peace to everybody. Hope everybody's behaving themselves and being good. And thanks for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Please share my videos with your friends. Hit the thumbs up button. Let me know you were here. And then if you haven't hit that subscribe button, I encourage you to do so. Right there, just give it a little love tap. Also, if you'd like to make a donation to TurnLeftTV, you can go right up in the link in the banner of the channel and make a donation straight through PayPal. I'm just here. I'm happy you're here to watch the races. And we've got a good one. We've got a big field here. Looks like 16 drivers right now in the server joining us. So it should be a fun race tonight here at Watkins Glen in the IndyCars. Take a look at Stephen Miller as he comes off pit lane to make his qualification attempt. You know, again, this is Watkins Glen, a 60-minute race here tonight. Race 9 of 10, so we are winding down that season. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, commentator, broadcaster, owner of TurnLeftTV. Have a lot of fun doing this, so wouldn't be able to do it really and pull this off without the fans coming in and the drivers who participate in these races too like to go back and watch the races, so that's always pretty cool. We'll take a look at the schedule where we have been. All the ovals here and then the one road course. Tonight, Watkins Glen International. Next week, we finish out the season in the right way, huh? The crown jewel of motorsports, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, a 250-mile race there on November the 21st. And that'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Season standings coming into tonight. How about this? Ricardo Almeida, 392 points, has a commanding lead over Dennis Vandeven. Stephen Miller shown in the third position. Jack G is fourth. Nikolai Bezrikov, fifth in points. Paul Holt, sixth. Nikolai Gerasimov, seventh. And Alexander Meshkov, eighth. Jair Oliveira is ninth. Tony Reiner shown 10th in points. Hey, if you're interested in some comics, please give ZiaComics.com a look. Your nerd headquarters, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, ZiaComics.com, your nerd headquarters. Colin Matiak, lightning fast here, 121.604. Very fast time there. Ricardo Almeida shown second on the grid. Vladislav Zenkov is third. Dennis Vandeven fourth. Nikolai Bezrikov fifth. Take a look at Alan Balancino joining us. First time here in the IndyCars. He raced last week with us in the stock cars. And he might be doing a double tonight here. He might be doing stock cars later, so it'll be interesting to see pulling the double duty. I think Ed Palumbo also going to be one of those guys pulling double duty. Might even see a couple other guys on the grid. Maybe Tony Reiner might be pulling some double duty as well. And then don't forget about Felipe Nunez. He might be pulling the double duty as well. He does some stock car racing as well. Speaking of stock cars, well, we had a rain out last night, a little server problem here, so we're going to run this race tonight. Rain delayed till today. So 125 laps from Iowa Speedway, and guys were just raving about the setup here. It's going to be race number 2 in the 2020 winter season. Race number 1 was a madhouse. What a great field. We had 18 drivers, and I suspect we're going to get quite a few here tonight as well. So that'll be live right here on TurnLeftTV. Iowa Speedway in the High Octane Racing League Bushwhacker Series. See if the side-by-side's working. Looks like we got that up and running, working just fine. Always like when things are working correctly. Again, thank you for coming in. Please, if you'd like to get a hold of me, you can contact me on Discord using one of those 2 addresses there, or handles. Follow me on Twitter at TurnLeftTV and Facebook at TurnLeftTV1. And the High Octane Racing League Discord address is right over there. If you'd like to join High Octane Racing League and come in and do some racing. Always enjoy having new folks. So should be a great race here tonight. And we'll use this side-by-side view periodically. Maybe without the ugly cam. Well, who won last week? That was Vladislav Zenkov. Won at Pocono. What a challenging track that was. Again, 18 drivers joining us last week, and we had a pretty messy race there early on, but these guys got it figured out, and Vladislav Zenkov came out on top in a great battle. So outlasted the competition. Ricardo Almeida finished second. Shulayev finished in third. Dan Richter fourth. Bezrikov was fifth. Take a look at Dennis Vandeven here in this 5th place car right now, 5th on the grid with about just a little under 6 minutes left to go in the qualification session. So these guys get as many laps in as they can here in this 15-minute qualification session. There'll be a 10-minute warm-up session, and then we'll go to race. 60-minute race here tonight at Watkins Glen. We take a look at that schedule, of course. Had a string of ovals. 200 miles was the set length on all of those, and really racing Gateway for the first time. That was an interesting race. Iowa was a good one as well. A couple tracks there you don't normally see on the schedule in the rFactor 2, but kudos to those track builders and getting those things out there. Watkins Glen, of course, tonight with the road course, and then finishing out the season at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And you might see some kind of one-off drivers come in, too, that are excited about running Indianapolis in the IndyCars. Take a look at Jair Oliveira here, our 9th place car. He's excited about these Indy cars, man. This guy gets in and drives just about anything. And he really likes these Indy cars, so good to see him out here at the road course. Having a little trouble right there, but that'll be fine. He'll get that worked out. This is Tony Reiner making some laps here. Qualifications. Looks like he's in the 20 car. Ed Carpenter Racing Machine. Got to be real careful. That's what I'm saying. You got to be real careful in those parts of the track where you're coming off the turn and get in the gas a little bit too much, and the thing can come around on you fairly easily. So guys are going to need to get that worked out. It's Ed Palumbo here doing the stock cars and the Indy cars. He had some practice in last night, was looking pretty strong. So he'll be racing the number 55 car here tonight, the Dale Coyne Racing machine. We'll take a look at the full standings here. We've had 32 drivers join us this season. Some guys just sort of racing part-time, obviously, but a lot of guys there very, very consistent on coming each night or each weekend, coming out and racing. So good first season here for the High Octane Racing League IndyCar Series, and how about that, man? 32 participants. Actually more now because we've got a couple guys here that are joining us for the first time. This is Vladislav Zenkov, last week's winner, Team Penske machine, number 12. Can he make it 2 in a row? He's got a little bit of work ahead of him. He is 4th on the grid so far. So looking pretty solid there for him. And I think really not only having a fast car, but I think more importantly is just being consistent. You're not going to hit every turn perfectly. You're going to have some troubles there along the way. Just try to keep that car clean. Have a good pit stop. It is a 60-minute race. And try to stay out of everybody's way or don't get involved with somebody there and get some damage on your car. They're potentially damaging your machine and setting you off pace. So no full course caution. We've got a new top time here. Ricardo Almeida, 122.559. All right, looks like that is the end of qualification session. All right, switching it over to warm-up here. So Ricardo Almeida, the top time, 122.559. It looked like Colin Matiak actually got kicked, so he'll start back in the grid. Dennis Van de Ven second, Alan Balancino third, Vladislav Zenkov fourth, Nikolai Bezrikov fifth, Felipe Munez sixth, Georgi Artunian seventh, Jack G qualifies in the 8th position, and Palumbo is 9th. Jair Oliveira is 10th. Stephen Miller in the 11th position, Alexander Meshkov 12th, Danilo Coelho 13th, Tony Reiner 14th, Jose Solis is 15th. So getting some chatters in here. Preston said, sorry, man, I couldn't make it. That's okay, man. Hope you're feeling better. Givaldo in here as well. Good to see Givaldo in here. See if we can't change the size of that chat session right there. There we go. We get it all on the screen. Always something, man. Work in progress. That's what this is. Nikolai Bezrikov out here getting some laps in the warm-up session. And don't forget, coming up later this evening, that's right, 2 streams in one day. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, practice time. 9 p.m. will be the stream start time. Winter season race number 2 at Iowa Speedway in the High Octane Racing League Bushwhacker Series. This is a rain-out makeup. We had a little problem last night, and we're going to run this race today, so send a message to all the guys and let them know. So it should be a great one. Iowa is a great one, and thanks so much to Preston on his work for setup for this series, for this track. So looking pretty solid tonight for the race, and hopefully we got a good one in store for you. It'll be live streamed right here on TurnLeftTV at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, thank you for coming in and joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Hope everybody's being good to one another. Enjoying a little broadcast here today. We've got 2. This is one of 2, so hang out, man. Get a bite to eat between the broadcasts. Come on back. I'm going to let the dog out, get something to eat, do a few jumping jacks, and get ready to go again. So thanks for coming in, and got a good mix of races down there for you to view down at the bottom, several playlists and so forth if you want to go back and watch some of the racing here with High Octane Racing League and some of the other series that I've raced or broadcast races for, Sim Racing Mania, Happy Hour Racing League, also Paulo Chachalowski's league there too. He does a great one, AV Leagues. Done some stuff for him, so a lot of broadcasting under our belts, and TurnLeftTV is the place to be if you want to watch some great rFactor 2 live streams. And it's only me, so I'll take the blame. Things go awry. All right, about a minute left to go here in the warm-up session. We're going to get this bad boy going. Sergei Butsev should be in here right now. Should be in here racing tonight. There's 16 drivers, and we need that guy out on the track. Get a lot of drivers here joining us from Russia and the eastern part of Europe and into Asia and so forth. And we actually moved the time a little bit forward so these guys would be able to race, because we had actually changed times here in the United States, and they don't change times. So trying to accommodate those drivers, very important drivers to us. All right, boys and girls, we're about ready to hit it. Here we go. Are you ready? This is IndyCars at Watkins Glen International. It's race number 9. I'm excited about this one, boys. This is going to be non-stop action. So it looks like I got a late joiner there. 17 drivers now joining us on the grid.
Non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
All right, the starting order here tonight. Colin Matiak starts in P1. The 59 car, Ricardo Almeida, starts in the 22 in second. Dennis Van de Ven third. Alan Balancino starts in the 4th position. Vladislav Zinkov starts in the 5th spot. Nikolai Bezrukov's 6th. Felipe Munoz starts in 7th. Georgi Arutunyan starts in the 8th position. Jack G starts in 9th. In 10th is Ed Palumbo. Jair Oliveira starts in the 11th position. Stephen Miller in 12th. In the 13th position is Alexander Meshkov. 14th is Danilo Coelho. Tony Reiner starts in 15th. Jose Solis starts in the 16th position. And in 17th is Alexei Salvayev. All right, 60-minute race here tonight. Take care of those tires. Make sure you keep that car between the lines, baby. Colin Matiak, very, very fast car. Starts in P1. This is a 60-minute race. Sector cautions only. So these guys are going to generally go single file here until they get through the boot there between the exit of the boot and turn 10, and then they'll double file it. We'll start 2 wide, and we get that hard right-hand turn, our first turn. So hopefully everybody gets through this cleanly. Keeps the cars on the track, headed in the right direction. Ricardo Almeida, our points leader, starts in P2. Dennis Vandeven, definitely got to be one of our favorites here tonight, starts in P3. Alan Ballancino, new driver here to HORL, starts in the 4th position. Looking pretty solid here. Won a big stock car race here last week. So, okay, going double file here now. All right, boys and girls, exit of the boot here to turn 10. Got one more turn, and we're going to hit the green flag, baby. So hope everybody gets a good start, good clean start here. Again, this is TurnLeftTV. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, and here we are, IndyCars at Watkins Glen.
Green flag, go, go, go.
So here we go, man. Colin Matiak out to the race lead. Ricardo Almeida second. Dennis Vandeven third. Alan Ballancino is fourth. Nikolai Bezrikov is fifth. Looks like JJ did not get a start there, and it's caused somebody to get a black flag. So it looks like Meshkov got a bogus penalty here. Nikolai Bezrikov here shown in the in the 9 car in the 7th position. See, this is all the problems I have when I have to admin the race and broadcast the race at the same time here. So those things happen, but apologize for that. Trying to clear penalties and clear the mic and so forth, or mute the mic, unmute the mic, bring back the broadcast. Scott Matiak is our race leader here in the 59 car. My heavens, man. Alan Balancino shown in the 3rd position, his first race out. And a little bit of traffic here. These guys rolling up on some lap traffic. Tony Reiner, Jack G, both a lap down now. Jair Oliveira here running in the 13th position. A little bit of lap traffic for him, so to speak. Actually, it looks like Stephen Miller here going to race side by side here as our race leader wanting to get around. Colin Matiak here stuck in traffic as they were trying to make a pass, racing for position. Stephen Miller gets around. Man, that was an interesting sequence right there. Here, let's take a look. You see Stephen Miller in that orange and black machine, orange and brown machine, as he's trying to get around Jair Oliveira and Colin Matiak. They're stuck behind our race leader, stuck behind these guys. And I don't think he was overly pleased about that. Take a look out of the front of his machine as these guys get side by side, and he's wanting to get around, getting through. He's the race leader. And not too happy, I don't think, the 59 car. Take a look at Jose Solis here running in the 10th position in this 3 car in his first IndyCar race here with us. So we have a pretty solid night so far. Good top 10 finish or run for him. As just ahead of him, Ed Palumbo. So at that point, that battle is tightening up here a little bit. As Solis goes off track just a little. On board here with Jose Solis as he is working on the back of Ed Palumbo. Ed running in the 9th position. Coming off turn 11, down the front stretch, across the start-finish line. So Ed Palumbo in this 9th place machine has some company. Looking out of the back of his machine at Jose Solis in that 3 car. Again, good tight battle right there. Alexei Salviev has come down pit lane. He must have made some contact with the wall. So Salviev has come around, and we'll take a look and see what happened to him. This car spun around, and big time damage here for him. Oh man, my heavens! Heads on into the wall, straight into the wall. Take a look at Jair Oliveira as he's trying to get back around Stephen Miller. And there's some contact right there with Stephen Miller, and he comes around. Balancino, I don't know what happened. Oh, Balancino gets caught up in that here. This is Balancino is Jair Oliveira in the middle of the track, and Balancino makes contact with him. And he, take a look at this, man. He just kind of blind to what's happening. He comes around the turn, and right there, when he gets around, is Jair Oliveira. We just missed that, didn't we? So right there, contact. And JJ spun around, got in the way. Balancino on pit lane, so he is indicating he is done, I believe. He might have retired his machine. Take a look at Alexei Salviev. Kind of joined us a little bit late and has moved his way up to the 11th position. So right now having a good run here. 27 car in 11th. Take a look at the Vladislav Zenkov here running in the 4th position in the 12 car. Colin Matiak is the race leader. Ricardo Almeida is 2nd. Dennis Van de Ven is 3rd. Vladislav Zenkov 4th. Felipe Munez is in the 5th position. We'll take a look at Felipe. Bezrikov got a little bit wide there, and Jose Solis might have gotten a little bit wide there. I'm not sure. Bezrikov gotten around. Take a look at Bezrikov's machine. Colin Matiak, the race leader, he's got about a 7-second lead over Ricardo Almeida, just about a 6.5, 7-second lead. Dennis Van de Ven running in the 3rd position. We'll take a look at Ricardo. In that number 22 car, he is our points leader. And having a pretty good night here. Hopefully everybody can hear me now on the broadcast. Definitely says that I'm transmitting out, so hopefully we are. Take a look at Dennis Van de Ven running in the 3rd position in that 84 car. He's 19 seconds back. Just behind him, Vladislav Zenkov on the grid in 4th position. Felipe Munez is in 5th. Nikolai Bezrikov, take a look at him. He's running in the 6th position. Bezrikov about 31 seconds down, trying to close in on Felipe. Looking out of the front of Nikolai Bezrikov's machine as he closes in on Felipe Munez. Those guys about a second separate the two, so that battle is tightening up between the two of those guys. So Nikolai in 6th. And tell you what, Felipe is driving that thing pretty hard right now, and you're seeing some smoke coming off those tires as he locking those brakes up as he enters the turn. So he is driving that for all it's worth, running in the 5th position. Georgi Aratunian running in the 7th position. You're in that Carlin Racing number 59 car. Georgie right now 42 seconds back, and behind him is Ed Palumbo running in 8th. So Ed Palumbo and Jose Solis swapping position. Jose there having some trouble coming off the turn. See what happened to Jose. You see he comes off turn there just a little bit, and it looks like Palumbo there going to squirt by. And Tony Reiner had come off track too, so he was right there by Jose. He just gets a little bit wide and spins this car, not all the way around, so he gets that car straightened back up. But you see Jose Solis there on the inside in that grass as he comes by. So guys did a good job of avoiding that. Ed Palumbo did a great job of avoiding that that mess right there. You see there's Tony Reiner on the right side, and you see that yellow car. That's Jose, and that was 4 positions. So Ed Palumbo now moves up to the 8th position as Jose falls back to 9th. Challenging track here, man, and this setup a little bit slick. Danilo Coelho here running in the 10th position. That Andretti Autosport number 29 car. He is the last car on the lead lap. And the leader is on the way. As you see, he goes by, and there's our race leader right there, Colin Matiak. Colin kind of running him down here pretty quickly, as he's probably not going to fight too hard. So he goes off track right there, and Colin Maniak going to slip through and put him a lap down. Danilo in the grass. So we'll take a look here. Danilo Coelho, he just got this car wide coming off into the overrun area and then even into the kitty litter. Oh, makes a little contact with the wall there. And now back out on the track. So Colin Maniak, the race leader. It's got, looks like we have Jose Solis, who has retired his machine. He must have had some trouble as well. We know he had a little bit of trouble there with the with spinning that car around earlier. And it looks like he gets a little bit wide. Oh, man, he gets into the gas just a little bit too early there. Takes out one of the signs. And that car is hard to handle right now for him. Now he's retired to, or decided to retire his machine. Colin Maniak just absolutely loves this track and these Indy cars. So he came to the track prepared today. Had a little trouble there at the end of the qualification session, and I thought it was going to give the pole to Ricardo Almeida, but no, it brought him back when he rejoined in the warm-up session. So put him back up at the top of the grid. Ricardo Almeida shown in the second position in that 22 car. He is 8 seconds down. 40 minutes left to go, so a long way to go in this race. Dennis Van de Ven shown in the third position in the 84 car, that Andretti Autosport number 84. Vladislav Zenkov shown in the fourth position in the 12 car. 40 minutes left to go. Felipe Munoz shown in the 18 car in the fifth position. Felipe has a little company now from Nikolai Bezrikov. Bezrikov just behind him in the sixth position. So Felipe going to have to mind his P's and Q's as that 8 car here making a move down the front stretch. He's going to try to race him, drag race him into turn 1. Side by side, Felipe gives him a lot of room. Trying to drive up on that outside line, hanging on to that thing. And then looks like Bezrikov's going to take over the fifth position. Good pass right there. Those guys, good, clean racing between the two of them. Felipe there trying to maybe gain that spot back. Felipe has a run here. Going to be a hard right-hander, so he's on the outside of this right-hander, and he's in the grass right now trying to make this pass back. Good side-by-side racing right there. Nikolai Bezrikov, Felipe Munoz. Looks like Bezrikov holds on to that position. Those guys swapping spots around. Munoz is going to go have another run at him here. And I think at this point, man, just race the track. Don't get caught up in really trying to run somebody down. Race this track, and it'll come to you. Nikolai Bezrikov now moves up to the fifth position. And that was a good little sequence right there. Bezrikov set him up for the pass and was able to pull that off. See that side by side. Bezrikov pulls off that pass. Take a look at this earlier pass right there. You see Munoz gets off track. Bezrikov gets into turn 10. They are side by side. I tell you what, Munoz did not want to give up that spot. Oh, they did swap a little paint right there. Maybe a little tire rub right there on each other. And again, hard race into turn 1. Bezrikov trying to cross him over. Again, backs off, realizes he's got time, he's a little faster. Alexei Salviev having a battle here and gets around Danilo Coelho. Takes over the 9th position. Danilo now back to 10th. So Bezrikov now moves our car up to the 9th spot. And we're getting some word that maybe Salviev might have come off track. So he got a little bit wide there. And then, hanging on. Oh, he makes contact. He's fishtailing in the grass. Making a little contact with the wall. And he's probably going to have to come down pit lane here and get that thing fixed here. Watch this, man. He is going to be working those this wheel, working those hands here to try to keep that thing straight. And that wall helped him out a little bit, I think, straightened him out just a little bit. Dennis Vandeven indicating he might have come around here. Dennis Vandeven getting into the turn a little bit high. It gets on the brakes and then comes around and, ooh, Almeida slips through. So there was a pass there, and Dennis Vandeven had gotten around Ricardo Almeida. We'll say this is a little bit earlier. Now, Almeida might have been on pit lane as Almeida's on pit lane as Vandeven passes him on the grid and then spins, getting into turn 1. Doesn't come all the way around, and that's fine. But now, Ricardo Almeida now closing in on him as he has some more trouble right there. So Almeida now gets by. So Dennis Vandeven gains that spot and then gives it back. So guys are starting to make some passes here as some guys having some trouble, maybe on a little bit older tires. Kolomatiak, huge race lead right now over Ricardo Almeida. Dennis Vandeven in 3rd. Vladislav Zenkov in the 4th position. Nikolai Bezrikov in 5th. Take a look at Jack G here running in the 12th position in that 60 car. That Meyer Shank racing machine. Always a good driver there, good buddy of mine. Vladislav Zenkov. Dennis Vandeven racing for position. Look at this. Dennis Vandeven starting to give up some more positions as Zenkov makes that pass. So Vandeven has some issues with that car right now, and he's probably going to have to come down pit lane and take some service on that machine. So he has probably boogered up those tires. And that has been a little bit of a battle between the two of them here. We'll take a look at this a little bit earlier as see Dennis Vandeven coming around again. Is he holding on to that spot? They are side by side. As you see Vandeven there giving up that spot as Zenkov gets by. So this a little bit earlier here as Zenkov closing in on Vandeven, and Vandeven just downshifts and loses the back end of that car, but kind of recovers. The curb kind of helped him out a little bit. Recovers a little bit. He's trying to get into turn 10 a little bit ahead of Zenkov, and then he's going to have some more trouble as Zenkov gets by. Takes over the 3rd position. Dennis Vandeven now back to 4th, and he has got a handful right now. Take a look at Danilo Coelho here trying to pick up a spot as Alexei Salviev coming down pit lane. So Salviev making a pit stop. And we'll take a look at Alexei Salviev on pit lane. Ricardo Almeida there trying to get around the lap car of Danilo Coelho, and looks like he does. So Coelho gives him a lot of room as Salviev taking some pretty extended time here on pit lane. 33 minutes left to go, almost halfway as Salviev taking some fuel, getting some repairs done to that machine. Dennis Vandeven now closing back in on Vladislav Zenkov, so trying to take back over to the 3rd position. And he does, so Vladislav now back to 4th as Dennis Vandeven stays in it, man, doesn't give up after giving up that position. and now gains that spot back. So now he's back to the 3rd position. Tony Reiner now picking up another spot. He's in the 12th position right now in that number 20 car, that Ed Carpenter Racing machine. Heading into turn 1 here. We got 31 minutes, just a little under 32 minutes left to go. Colin Matiak, the race leader. He's got an 11-second lead over Ricardo Almeida. Todd Robillard here joining us in the chat. Good to see him. He said right now it looks like Colin Matiak is putting on a clinic. I would say that is probably a pretty good assessment. Looks like Felipe has retired his machine, so he must have had enough. Came in and retired. Sorry to see that. Sergei Butsev in here as well. Good to see Sergei in here. See a little lap traffic. A lot of room right there for Colin Matiak as he makes his way through, extending that lead to now 12.5 seconds over Ricardo Almeida. At this point, Ricardo Almeida just needs to get good finishes here. I'm sure he wants to win this race. There's no doubt about that. Anytime you get out on the track, I mean, you're out there to compete and win the race. But considering where his points lead is, he has really nothing to gain by having a bad race here by overdriving that car. We'll take a look at the season standings coming into tonight, and you see he's got a huge points lead over Dennis Van de Ven, Stephen Miller in 3rd, Jack G 4th, and Nikolai Bezrikov rounding out the top 5. Jack G moving up the grid here with some of these guys retiring their machines. And he is now shown in the 10th position. Have a little bit of a challenging night here, but man, if you can walk away having a challenging night and end up in 10th, that is pretty good. We'll take a look at the leaders at halfway, or the grid at halfway. Colin Matiak, 1st place. Ricardo Almeida is 2nd. Dennis Van de Ven, 3rd. Vladislav Zinkov is 4th. Nikolai Bezrikov shown 5th at the halfway point. Georgi Aratunian is 6th, Ed Palumbo 7th, Danilo Coelho 8th, Stephen Miller 9th, and Jack G rounding out the top 10 halfway through. Take a look at Georgi Aratunian. He is making a pit stop here at the 28-minute mark. So Georgie on pit lane, taking some service. Looks like Ed Palumbo on pit lane as well. So a couple drivers here on pit lane, just a little past halfway. So Aratunian finishing up his pit stop now, coming back out on track. As Colin Matiak, our race leader, crosses the start-finish line. So Matiak loves this track, man. He's got a couple wins here in IndyCars, and he likes these cars. He likes these tracks, and you got a guy who is really fired up about sim racing. And those 3 things right there, coupled with a lot of talent, spells bad news for the rest of these guys. As he has got this thing hooked up. He is on a rail right now. Ricardo Almeida running in the 2nd position in that number 22 car. This guy has been just solid all night long. Or I should say solid all season long. about Nikolai Bezhrikov here running in the third position. I mean, I tell you what, that has been a quiet third place run here for Nikolai. He's looking pretty solid here. These guys really liking these Indy cars. I know a lot of these guys here racing from Russia really dig these Indy cars. So we've got, 4 or 5 guys here at least from Russia racing with us. And like I said earlier, we moved the times back just so we could have these guys continue to race once we change times. And you see a little bit of trouble there just ahead. Oh, man. Tell you what, Bezhrikov did a great job of avoiding that. And that was Tony Reiner spinning. And Tony Reiner coming around here. You see he gets off the track there over the curb, and then he's going to try to get this car straightened back out. And spins this car right in front of Bezhrikov. And Bezhrikov heads up move of getting around. So we'll take a look at that again. See Tony Reiner here getting off track just a little bit. See, he just gets off track right there just a little bit and then spins this car. And then he's trying to get this thing straightened back up. And then Bezhrikov slipping through. So back to live feed. And hey, man, look at that. Cliff Wellinga joining us in here. Paul Holt joining us in here. Good to see that. Couple of buddies there. So we're coming in to cheer on their Sim Racing Mania guys, I'm sure. Dennis Vandeven, one of their homeboys, having a good run here, running in the 5th position. He's had a pretty challenging night, man. He and Zinkov, Bezhrikov, all those guys were racing pretty close together there for a while. And he had a couple laps there. I tell you what, I think he almost wrecked about 3 or 4 times on just one of those laps, but he is hanging on and having a good night here running in the 5th position. Georgi Aratunian and Ed Palumbo here having a battle. Georgie got on that inside through that turn. That's coming out of the boot and picks up that spot. Ed Palumbo spinning those tires a little bit. So we'll take a look. Georgi Aratunian here setting up Ed Palumbo here to make the pass. Beats him into this turn. And Ed Palumbo, one of the nicest drivers out there on the track, he says, hey, man, if you're going to earn it, you're going to earn it. But once you get around me, I'm going to let you go here. I'm not going to drive you dirty. And that's exactly what was going on here. We'll take a look here. Dennis Vandeven now closing in on Nikolai Bezhrikov. Good battle here between the two of these guys. Dennis Vandeven getting around Bezhrikov. Making that pass. Look at that TurnLeftTV logo. Dennis Vandeven in that Honda. Number 84 car now picking up another spot. It's back up to the 4th position. I tell you what, man, Ed Palumbo here trying to close back in on Georgi Aratunian. Aratunian here a little bit off the pace as Ed Palumbo, trying to slip by and not able to quite make that pass. Man, he had a head of steam. I don't know what was going on with Aratunian. See Ed Palumbo here closing in on that light blue machine, Aratunian, and he's up on the outside. He kind of has to get out of the gas to keep from running into him. I thought he had him cleared, but no. Aratunian holds on to that spot. Man, I'll tell you what, that got a little crazy right there. See right there, he closes in, and then you think he might have had him passed, but no can do on that one. And Aratunian holds on to that spot. Jack G here in the 60 car. He's having a little trouble. Oh, he tried to catch it and hard into the wall. My heavens, Jack G makes some hard contact into the wall. trying to get that car straightened back up, and he's going to have to come down pit lane and get a front wing put on that. That thing just absolutely exploded right there. Comes around the turn, it gets a little bit loose, and then it snaps around on him, and a hard contact right there into the wall, and then trying to get that car turned back around and pointed in the right direction. So Colin Matiak, our race leader, here with a little over 21 minutes left to go. He's got a big lead here, 12-second lead over Ricardo Almeida. Look at Tony Reiner here picking up a position as Jack G on pit lane. So Tony now up to the 10th position as Jack G coming in to pit lane, down pit lane here to take some service. Stephen Miller on pit lane here in that 29 car. Haven't really talked too much about him. Now it says he's got a penalty, so he must have sped down pit lane, and that is not good for Stephen Miller. Colin Matiak here continuing to lead. Second lead over Ricardo Almeida. Stephen Miller back out on track, but nonetheless, he has a penalty, so he's going to have to come back down pit lane here with 20 minutes left to go. Nikolai Bezrikov here trying to get around, maybe get around Dennis Vandeven, and Dennis Vandeven comes around. Oh, there's a little bit of contact right there. A little bit of contact. Looks like Bezrikov might have gotten into Vandeven. 20 minutes left to go, and there might have been a little bit of contact right there. I think Vandeven might have come around. This thing will get around on you in a hurry. And you see right there just a little bit... little contact between Bezrikov and Vandeven. Lifts Bezrikov's car up off the ground. Bezrikov, I don't think, could have avoided him. We're on board here with Bezrikov. He's trying to figure out which way to go. Does a little ramp over the front wing of Dennis Vandeven. Again, Vandeven coming into turn 10. And then just a little bit of spin, and then lifting that car off the ground of Bezrikov, and now swapping positions. Bezrikov now back up to the 4th position as Dennis Vandeven in 5th. Stephen Miller came back down pit lane to do that drive-through, so he's now back out on track, running in the 9th position. He's 2 laps down. 18 and a half minutes left to go. Alexei Salviev here running in the 12th position, getting into the turn. Little bit tight right there. Gets that car around and trying to get that thing straightened back up. And man, great job of those guys not getting into him. Dennis Vandeven having another one of those laps there where he's having a lot of trouble getting into turn 1. It gets off the track and then into the inside wall. So Vandeven comes around. He just got a little bit wide coming off the turn. This is turn 1, and he gets over into this overrun area. And then coming up around that curb, he gets into the gas, and it just breaks that car loose, and then hard into the wall right there. Not that hard, but nonetheless having some... issues is Dennis Vandeven. Ricardo Almeida here running in the 2nd position. He is still holding serve, really. He hasn't really been able to close into that race lead or chip into the lead so much. He's about just a shad under 11 seconds back, but in some lap traffic there trying to get around. Almeida trying to get through, coming out of the boot here into turn 10. Ricardo indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane here on the so he comes down pit lane, announces that he pitted. That's exactly what these guys should be doing, is announcing coming off out of the boot, between the boot and turn 10, that they are coming down pit lane. So Ricardo Almeida making a pit stop here with just a little under 20 minutes left to go. 16 minutes left to go. And we'll take a look at Ricardo Almeida here taking a pit stop. So Almeida pitting this car. See Dennis Vandeven on pit lane too, so both those guys coming off pit lane, as Almeida still in second. Kalamaniak, I'm just wondering if he has to make a pit stop here. Haven't heard anything out of him so far. Take a look at Vladislav Zenkov here running in the third position. Again, good solid night for him. He has been solid ever since he's joined High Octane Racing and this series. He just seems to come out here prepared every single race, and that program did pretty good here, running in the third position right now. Bezrikov is running in the fourth position in the 9 car. Our race leader on pit lane, so Colin Matiak here taking some service. Ricardo Almeida might be able to get that lap led in here as if he gets around quickly enough. He's coming around turn 10. I don't think it's going to happen for him, as now it looks like Colin Matiak now back out on track after taking a short amount of service. So Matiak, good solid pit stop for him. And that's what he needed, man. He did not want to give up that race lead. So Almeida here running in the second position. Colin Matiak holds serve, holds on to the first position after making pit stop. He's got a 30-second lead over P2, now down to 16 once the times have cycled back around. We'll take a look at Stephen Miller here running in the 9th position in that 29 car after having to serve a drive-through, trying to bounce back. A little bit of a warping issue right there. Colin Matiak here running in P1. Looks like those guys have decided, some of these guys are get spun around and then leaving the track here. Looks like Alexei Salviev has had some trouble. He's come around. Oh, man, that is a hard lick right there into the wall. He got into the tire barrier as well, and then looks like he got out of his car. So he's had some trouble. Salviev just talking about how things were going for him. And then Jack G coming around as well. He gets into, that's turn 1 right there, after turn 1 between 1 and 2, and he comes around. So we'll take a look at Jack G as he gets a little bit wide, then gets into the gas there. Kind of a bad time to get it back into the gas, and that thing comes around and smacks that inside wall. Salviev, we'll take a look and see what happened to him, man. This thing gets loose, and then he's trying to catch it, and he gets in not only to the wall, but that little tire barrier right there too, and that just tears his car to pieces. So what a tough break there for him. Tony Reiner here running in the 10th position. He is currently 2 laps down. Take a look at Ed Palumbo. He's in a little bit of a hornet's nest right now. He's trying to stay on that lead lap, but it looks like he's going to end up going a lap down as Colin Matiak gets by off turn 11. So Colin Matiak now gets around him. Ed Palumbo, the first car, 1 lap down, running in the 6th position. Aratunian is the next car on the lead lap, that last car on the lead lap here, trying to maybe hold on and stay on that lead lap. As you see, he goes by, and we'll see where that race leader is. And there goes our race leader, Colin Madiak. So there goes Georgie Aratunian right there. And then Colin Madiak shortly behind. There goes Colin Madiak right there, the race leader. There's Ed Palumbo. First car 1 lap down. So Aratunian running in the 5th position. Stephen Miller here trying to close out this race. 11.5 minutes left to go. Coming around out of the boot, and he comes around. He doesn't come all the way around. That's good news for him, getting that thing straightened back up. So he's had a tough night here, having a speeding penalty coming back down pit lane, and now coming around a little bit. But nonetheless, running in the 9th position. Vladislav Zinkov running in the 12th car, in 3rd in that Team Penske sponsor machine. See, he's got a little bit of a gap there on P4. Kind of look at that current speed, current lap time, and he's got about a 10.5 second lead over P4, so not too much of a worry for him for P3 so far. Zinkov having a good night. Top 3 run for him. Take a look at Nikolai Bezrikov. Here running in the 4th position. Got about a minute or so behind the race leader with 10 minutes left to go. So the best these guys can hope for, you don't really want to wish for bad luck on somebody, but to take advantage or capitalize on some bad luck of Colin Madiak here. He's starting to roll up on Georgie Aratunian, who is the last car on the lead lap. You see Colin Madiak here coming down the front stretch, and just ahead of him is Georgie Aratunian. Colin going to get by. And look at that, ran the fastest lap of the race here with 9.5 minutes left to go. And now he wants to get around Tony Reiner. Good clear track ahead. Tony Reiner letting him go. Georgie Aratunian, this is that pass a little bit earlier here, and that kind of sets him up for missing that turn just a little bit. He does a good job of hanging on to that thing, but he gets a little bit wider than what I think he wanted to. I think using that overrun area coming out of turn 1 is okay pretty much for the stock cars. It's really pretty tough, I think, on those Indy cars. They just don't seem to deal with that nice overrun area going over that curb, as well as some of the other cars here, GT3 cars or Indy cars. Stock cars. So Colin Madiak in the 59 car in control, 22nd lead of Ricardo Almeida. 8.5 minutes left to go. Dennis Van de Ven trying to bounce back here. He's had a couple stints where he's had a lot of unfortunate spins. And he's trying to bounce back. He had a good top 5 car there going for a little while and had some trouble. Now running in the 7th position. So he's trying to pick up some spots here in the closing minutes of this race. He's got Ed Palumbo just ahead as we'll kind of take a look and see if we can't get an idea of where Ed Palumbo is in relationship. So about 13.5 seconds or so gap between Ed Palumbo and Dennis Van de Ven. So a little work to do for Dennis Van de Ven. He's going to pick up P6. Take a look at Georgie Aratunian now. first car one lap down, running in the 5th position. We'll kind of get an idea of maybe where Ed Palumbo is in relationship to him, and that's about 7.5 second gap there on Ed Palumbo. You see Ed Palumbo just coming around that turn. So Georgie Aratunian trying to hang on here for a good top 5 finish. Ed Palumbo, our stock car aficionado, running in the 6th position. See where Ed Palumbo is here, 7.5 seconds back from Georgie Aratunian, but having a good night here running in the 6th spot. Tony Reiner here indicating he might have came around here into turn 1. He gets off that track, and I was just talking about how that is a tough little area of the track as Tony Reiner trying to get this car straightened back up and get back out on track. So, tough break there for him. You see Ricardo Almeida, P2, going by. So Tony Reiner in the 10th position, a late race spin for him. Take a look at Ricardo Almeida here in P2 in that 22 car. He is doing exactly what he needs to do. Get that car up front, get a good finish here to close out this season. Vladislav Zinkov running in the 12 car in 3rd. Nikolai Bezrukov in the 4th position. Bezrukov probably in a position where he might be at risk of getting lapped there as you see he goes by. Stephen Miller there letting Colin Matiak go by with about 5.5 or so, a little less than 5.5 minutes left to go. Stephen Miller here running in the 9th position. And he's had an eventful night, that's for sure. Had a few spins there and then got caught speeding on pit lane, had to serve a speeding penalty, a drive-through penalty. See Danilo Coelho here having a good run, top 8. The top 10 finish here for him, hopefully, and running in the 8th position. He's got some company. There's Jack G getting by, not for position, but Jack G making that pass. Jack G running in the 10th position. It's like Tony Reiner has retired his machine, so he must have had some trouble. Ricardo Almeida here indicating he might have came around. And looks like he did. He came around, so late race deal there for him, and I think somebody had retired their machine, and that kind of boogered up you see right there's a little bit of warp, and then Almeida misses this turn. This really throws him off, and it throws him off his rhythm. He misses this turn. Ed Palumbo does a good job of not getting into him, but Almeida missed that turn and then now having some trouble. So Colin Matiak here with about 3.5 minutes left to go, the race leader. That Carlin Racing machine, number 59 car. I just had a feeling this guy was going to be the guy to beat here. I was a little skeptical in the qualifications when he got disconnected that he was going to have to start at the back of the grid and try to work his way through the grid. But fortunately for him, when we kicked over to warm-up and he rejoined, it gave him his position back. So he started in P1. And he is in control. One of our young guns, the whippersnapper. He likes these IndyCars. And we've seen him win races here at Watkins Glen before. Showing a lot of talent. Good preparation. Knows how to build a setup for these IndyCars, and he's got one tonight that is shown to be the class of the field. With 2.5 minutes left to go. Jack G maybe having a little trouble here as we close out this race. Coming around out of the boot and spinning that car. Trying to get that thing straightened back up. It's hard to do when you got these cars trying to come around. They're doing a good job of avoiding him. And he does a great job right there. That's just a good driver sense, just to kind of be patient. Don't back that car out into traffic and ruin somebody's night. Dennis Vandeven, Ed Palumbo here racing for position as we close out the race. Dennis Vandeven down on the inside line, and he has closed in on Ed Palumbo, and now takes over the 6th position. Ed Palumbo not going to let him get away though, as Dennis Vandeven. Ed Palumbo here trying to pass him back with a minute and a half left to go. As Ed Palumbo now side by side with Dennis Vandeven trying to get that spot back. Ed Palumbo is going to get that spot back from Dennis Vandeven. Dennis Vandeven not going to let him get away, and this race is not over here. For the 6th position, Dennis Vandeven, Ed Palumbo. Good clean race between the two of those guys. Vandeven in that black machine number 84, and he is trying to close in on Ed Palumbo and to make that pass again. What a good little sequence right there, huh? Dennis Vandeven, you see him set to Ed Palumbo up here for the pass. Ed Palumbo stays with it as Vandeven gets by, and Ed Palumbo stays with it and ends up getting back by Ed Palumbo. So as we close out the race, we got a great little battle here between Ed Palumbo and Dennis Vandeven. This is for the 6th spot. Vandeven has to give up that position again as Ed Palumbo gets by. A good battle right there as Colin Matiak too far out there to see that one. 30 seconds left to go, and I would imagine that this might be the last lap here. We'll see. We might have one more in us. This will give us a chance to maybe look back in on that battle between Ed Palumbo and Dennis Vandeven. I think this is going to end up doing it here. It looks like Colin Matiak is going to end up taking this win. So Colin Matiak coming around turn 10, and now round 11. Coming down the front stretch, Colin Matiak is going to take the win here at Watkins Glen in the IndyCars. How about that, huh? So great job to Colin Matiak. And I had a feeling, man, that guy, he was talking yesterday about how good his setup was, and it proved to be the class of the field. So congratulations to Colin Matiak on a big race win here at Watkins Glen in the IndyCars. He's going to do a little burnout there. So Colin Matiak, our race winner. Getting a little congratulations there from Ricardo Almeida. That's good sportsmanship, I would say, don't you think? We'll take a look at the results here. Colin Matiak gets a big win here. Ricardo Almeida second. Vladislav Zenkov finishes in the 3rd position. Nikolai Bezrikov finishes 4th. Georgi Aratunian finishes in the 5th position. Dennis Vandeven battling back and getting by Ed Palumbo finishes in the 6th position. Ed Palumbo 7th. Danilo Coelho finishes in 8th. Stephen Miller finished in 9th. And Jack G rounding out the top 10. Take a look at, skipped a page, go back a page there, I think. Oh, I got all these guys leaving, so I didn't get that. I guess we'll do the top 10 only. So congratulations to Colin Matiak, as he gets a huge race win in that Royal Blue Racing machine. See if we can't get a little chat with him. All right, we got Colin Matiak here joining us up here in the booth. Congratulations, Colin. Congratulations, Colin, on a great, great victory. And I just had a feeling, man, you were talking about that setup, how good it was, and you love this track. You love these cars. Talk about what it was like there, being out there in the IndyCars at Watkins Glen.
It was fun. It was fun not only just leading, but going through the track lap after lap. The car feels different after every corner, since the tire wear is so bad here, but it was interesting, very interesting.
Well, early on in the race, once you started rolling up on some lap traffic, it looked like you had a little bit trouble there getting by a couple guys that were racing for position, and that's sort of one of those things that seems to be a gray area. You know, it's kind of hard for those guys sort of to move over and let the lead lap car go. What was going through your mind there? You know, kind of just exercise some patience. I heard there was some communication on the radio.
Yeah, I was only frustrated, but I learned later that blue flags weren't showing up, so I was able to remain calm for the rest of the race and not yell at anybody else. But at that moment, I was scared because I got on the grass and didn't want to die. So.
Well, pretty much the lap traffic seemed to give you a lot of room later in the race, too. And, you know, kudos going out to those guys. You had a really solid pit stop as well. Almeida was sort of in your zip code there for a little while, but it looked like he had some trouble later in the race. Talk about, you know, that sort of that back half of the race or after that pit stop. It was just like smooth sailing for you.
After the pit stop, I realized I didn't have enough fuel, and the same thing happened to me in the last race at Watkins Glen, and I was really hoping Ricardo was going to pit, and so I could get another stop off and retain the lead without trying to finish the race on dead tires. But I'm not too sure what happened to him, if he had damage or if he just came down pit road for fuel or for tires, but I was thankful for that so I could actually finish the race.
Well, you've sort of been a little bit of a part-time driver here in the IndyCar season this season, and we've got Indianapolis Motor Speedway coming up next week, and we're doing 250 miles. Is that going to be a race that you're going to be able to join us for? And if so, how do you feel about the IMS, the crown jewel of motorsports?
I'll probably be able to show up for that, and it's going to be an exciting race. It's redemption from last season. Hopefully I can make the right strategy calls this time, and hopefully I can keep on pace with Ricardo. But it's going to be an exciting one. Hopefully there's not too many cautions and it's clean racing.
You know, there are not a lot of young guys, guys your age that get into sim racing in this, to this degree. You know, most of them, I know I teach high school, and most of those kids are playing Minecraft and Fortnite and so forth. And what drove you to come out and start sim racing?
Just a passion for cars and motorsport from a young age. Going to Mid-Ohio as a little kid and watching all the cars go by, it sparked my interest into driving, which involved my steamrolled into sim racing just to get that feeling of driving and winning and racing with other people, and just kind of ended up here.
And I would say a lot of that credit goes to Dad for sort of getting you fired up about that, huh?
Yes, it does.
Well, he was
All
joining
the
in the
credit.
chat, watching you race tonight too. So he's definitely your biggest fan, and we love having him, supporting TurnLeft TV and High Octane Racing League, and you as well. So congratulations on a great race win, and hope to see you back in the IndyCar series at Indianapolis next week.
All right. Thanks, Heath.
All right, that's Colin Mattiak here joining us in the chat after taking home that victory. Congratulations to him, and wow, what a dominating performance here. I just had a feeling, man, if he got out there again, clean race, that or clean traffic and clean track, I should say, that he was going to be smooth sailing for him. So he did a great job. And look at that, man. Ricardo Almeida finishes in the second position. Zinkoff there finishes in the third position. Bezrikov in fourth. Aratunian finishes in the fifth position. See Dennis Vandeven in sixth. Ed Palumbo seventh. Danilo Coelho finishes in eighth. Stephen Miller finishes in the ninth position. And Jack G rounding out the top 10. Well, don't forget, just in a little while, we'll be right back at it at Iowa Speedway in the stock cars. That's right, man. We got a rain out date, a makeup race from last night. We got rained out, so we're going to put them to work. Race number 2 in the 2020 winter season coming your way right here on TurnLeft TV. I just got to get some stuff switched over, get a bite to eat, let the dog out, and we'll be back at it. So race starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be right here on TurnLeft TV, 125 laps in the Xfinity Series at Iowa Speedway. That Bushwhackers Series is just awesome, and you don't want to miss it. Be live right here on TurnLeft TV. Well, that's going to do it for us for now. I want to say thank you so much for coming out and joining me here on TurnLeft TV. I think we can safely say that we've got this one in the books, and we are ready to hit the bricks next week at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So thank you so much for coming in, and I'm out of here.